Hey everybody, this is John Thomas. I am currently in quarantine like many of you. In fact, I'm in a makeshift office with a heater behind me and of course standard quarantine clothes. And if you don't know who I am, like I said, my name is John Thomas and I run a small website design and marketing agency called Roseberry Creative. And I wanted to jump on and kind of encourage you, but also give you some tips if you're a small business owner on how to keep your business alive during this economic downturn, right? A lot of us, my gosh, with the crazy times going on, people are stuck at home. A lot of small businesses have had to shut their doors if they are not considered essential. So I'm hoping to give you, through this video, 3 tips to help keep your business alive during this time if you're a small business. That way you can keep going, that way you can sustain yourself as you make it through these next few weeks, because I do believe that we are all going to get through this if we can just hang on there. But there's also an amazing opportunity right now, if you're a small business, to engage your market in ways that maybe you haven't considered yet before, okay? So hopefully this video will help give you some tips on how to stay relevant during this time. And so I'm going to kind of keep it short and sweet as you're watching this, and I'm going to jump right in, okay? So 3 ways to keep your small business alive and relevant during this downturn. Number 1 is to expand your marketing efforts. Now, I know that seems counterintuitive, but the key thing right now is not to react and contract, but is to actually double down on your marketing efforts. And the reason is because right now, as you notice, most people are cooped up at home. And what do they do when they're cooped up at home? They start to browse social media, they start to get on the internet, they start surfing websites. And so your market right now, in a sense, they're cooped up in one place with nothing else to do, and their daily life has changed. They have kids at home. All these things are different than what they're used to, and so people's natural inclination is to pass the time and to start getting online and consuming content, okay? So if you have marketing efforts and you have been kind of thinking, oh, maybe with this time right now I should pull back a little bit, wait till things are over, I would highly recommend that you do the exact opposite, right? A lot of your competition may start to shrink down their marketing efforts, and this is a time for you to actually double down on your efforts and start to meet the people where they are at, okay? Now is the time to engage that audience, build your brand, and speak to your people. Be that voice that they need to hear, because they're going to be listening to someone, and I'd rather them listen to you instead of your competition, right? So speak out and start doubling down on your marketing efforts. That's number 1, okay? Number 2 is to get online. All right, now, getting online right now should probably be your number 1 marketing strategy above all else, okay? And that's because of what I just referenced before. Everybody right now is getting online and surfing the internet, browsing social media, and consuming content just because of the very nature of they're stuck at home. So with nothing else to do and people being kind of forced online, service-type businesses, any type of business, especially if you sell things, all of these things are ripe for opportunity to meet your market where they're at, which is online. If you're selling products, or if you've thought of selling products, now's the time, because people are surfing their phones and purchasing things, right? We haven't seen much of a slowdown as far as purchasing. Now, of course, with the whole Amazon thing, limiting goods, but people with small business websites, I know my wife is one of them. She's making sales very consistently right now with her online store, simply because people don't have anything else to do and they want to spend money, right? Sure, a lot of people are being careful with what they spend, but at the same time, if there's things that they want or they need and they're kind of sitting there on their phones, they're going to click purchase. If they're on their laptops browsing the internet and they see something that they kind of want and they know they can get it shipped while they're stuck inside, they're going to buy it, right? So we haven't seen much of a slowdown when it comes to online consumption, okay? So get online should be your number 1 marketing strategy, because if you're not online yet, now is the time. Now, you may be thinking, okay, well, what do you mean by get online? And here are 5 ways that I would recommend you getting online when I say get online, okay? So number 1 is to go social. Now, social media, if you look at social media, I would view it as the new TV, okay, of our century, right? So think of social media channels So Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, think of those as what used to be TV channels, okay? And so your business has access to a channel and multiple channels where people can watch and consume your content. So getting in front of your market is easy. It doesn't require anything more than your phone or a laptop and with a camera. And people like raw, they like authentic, right? You don't have to have it super polished. So going social and engaging your audience on social media, on the platforms they're currently hanging out, is key to really keeping your business alive right now if you decide to go online, which I highly recommend that you do, okay? Number 2 is to make content that builds your brand and spreads goodwill to your audience. So with people consuming more and more content, videos, articles, blog posts, this is the perfect time for you to be that voice of content and to put it in front of your audience on those social platforms, okay? So making content is key right now for you as a small business. In fact, content, when done well, is what sells, okay? So you can use this time to make content that will build your brand and build goodwill in people. So if they're surfing, and even if they're not ready to purchase, maybe you have a business that is shut down, is maybe sort of service oriented, and you can't be offering, services to your customers right now. Let's say you're not selling something online. The very fact that you can create content and stay relevant to your audience and put content in front of them as they're browsing online and social media, the very fact that they can consume that content, if you're providing value to them while they're stuck at home, this in turn builds goodwill for your audience. And so the moment that the curfews are lifted and people are ready to start purchasing your services, you're the one that pops into their mind. You're the one that people want to go to and engage with because they've been engaging with you the past 2 weeks while they're stuck at home, okay, or however long this quarantine lasts. So that is hugely important, okay? So again, when you're getting online, go social, but then create content that people can consume that builds goodwill for your audience. Number 3 is to sell online, all right? So if you are not selling online yet, finding out a way that you can sell content or put content online that can sell could be a really, really good way for you to boost some revenue. And of course, if you are an online store, my goodness, now is the time to be selling more than ever because people are buying. And again, I can attest to that just simply from my wife's online store. I know other individuals, one small lady who does jewelry, her small business, and she's done like $5,000 this past month, okay? So people are purchasing, and if you're building that value, if you're engaging on social media and you have something to sell, people are going to buy, okay? So selling online, highly important right now. If you've thought about selling online, maybe you have a store, brick and mortar, and you haven't really thought about selling online, now is the time to sell online and to move yourself and some products on there to help with your cash flow, okay? Number 4, if you are online, a way to get online would be to consider ads. Now, ad spending, I would only recommend you doing this if you actually have the revenue to do so. But right now, across the board, ad spending is extremely low, right? Costs are way down globally. So if you are looking, to spend some ads on Facebook and you want to promote, a product or a piece of content, now would be the time to start trying that if you can afford it because costs are so low right now. A lot of people are contracting in their marketing, right? Like we mentioned earlier. And so that scarcity mindset, and they're scared to put things out there. They're afraid, I'll just wait till things are done. That's bad for them, but it's also good for you because you have the opportunity now to take advantage of the fact that ad costs are decreasing because so many people are afraid and wanting to take a back seat, okay? So if you have that opportunity, you can use social ads like on Facebook to target your audience, find where they're at, and really add value to their lives by showing them some relevant content and or product offers that you could ship to them if you're selling online. So definitely consider ads if you have the opportunity or the ability to afford it, because now is a great time to jump in that sector, okay? And then number 5, something really, really important would be to tweak your website to convert your visitors into customers and clients down the road, okay? So a lot of us with a small business website, we tend to have a brochure-like site that just has a lot of content that when somebody comes to visit, they get lost in the content, right? So tweaking your website in order to guide a visitor so they're not just getting lost in your website, but they get on there and they know what you offer and what they need to do next to become a client or customer. And that includes building some sort of lead generation form or giveaway that people can get on your email list. Okay, so building your email list and using your website to do that, highly, highly important right now. Because even if somebody isn't purchasing your services or isn't buying your product, the fact that you can get them on your email list that you can target later on, highly, highly important. So tweak your website in such a way that it guides your visitors to becoming a client or customer down the road, and build up your leads right now, and do that by creating lead generation forms and opt-ins on your website. So that could be in the form of, a free PDF or a free service or coupon for later, maybe a demo of your product or service or whatever it is that you give away for free in exchange for someone's email address, right? And that's how you can build up your email list. In fact, you'll notice that's what I'm doing currently with this video, right? So if you went onto the website to find this video, you first had to enter your email address, okay? So if you're watching this on social media, then what I'm going to do is encourage you to say, hey, at the end of this video or on this, there's a link if you're on social media, or if you're watching this on the website, there's a button where you can actually download 5 ways to tweak your website to turn your visiting clients or visitors into a client or customer, okay? So that PDF download is available in exchange for your email address, okay? So I hope you do take advantage of that, because again, this document is 5 ways to turn your website visitors into paying clients and customers. And you can, again, download that on the link below or on this page somewhere, depending on where you're watching this video, okay? So again, we're talking about the 3 ways to keep your business alive during the economic downturn, and going online, and the 5 ways you can do that online is one of those key components, okay? So number 1 was to double down on your marketing efforts. Don't contract, but really expand them right now, because now's the opportunity to do that. And number 2 is to go online, and we just discussed some ways you can do that, okay? So number 3, the third way to keep your business alive during this economic downturn is to consider a pivot if need be, okay? And we can talk about this later. I'm going to be setting up more videos. If you're on my email list, there's going to be more videos coming out on tips to keep your business alive, and marketing tips and whatnot. But consider a pivot, right? So think to yourself, what am I uniquely qualified to offer my market at this time? And that may mean expanding on what you currently offer, or it may mean tweaking and pivoting a little bit to say, okay, what does my audience need right now that I could offer them that I haven't yet? So considering a bit of a pivot and being flexible in your offering as a company is highly important. We see that a lot, in like the food sector, small business restaurants, they've pivoted to saying, hey, I'm selling online. They've kind of had to out of necessity, right? They're going to do that pickup, order online, curbside delivery, etc. If you're, let's just say, you own a small gym or a dance studio, right? Moving online, a pivot for you would be to move online and offer your classes virtually, right? And maybe have people pay for a subscription to do the next 6 weeks virtual with, like in a Zoom call with a whole class with you as the instructor, okay? So pivoting your business is key during times like this to keep cash flow coming in and to keep yourself relevant to your audience so you don't just disappear. And I can help you come out the other end of this downturn strong and ready to hit it, for as soon as the next few months are lifted, and hopefully not months, right? The next few weeks, the quarantine is lifted and people are back, and that stimulus package is coming and people have money coming in. So again, I hope these 3 tips help you. These are things that I'm implementing in my own small business. These are things that I'm working on with my clients, and I hope that it helps you, okay? So the 3 ways to keep your business alive right now: expand your marketing efforts, double down, don't contract, get online, right? And get online in social, create content, tweak your website, bring in leads, sell things online, etc. And then number 3 is pivot your business. Think creatively about ways that you can pivot and hopefully offer some different options to your customer base that you haven't thought of before, okay? Now, again, if you are wanting to go a little deeper somewhere on this page or on this post or somewhere there's a link, you can download 5 ways to tweak your website to turn your visitors into paying clients and customers. You can get that and read through that, and hopefully that'll help you. You can either implement them yourself if you know a little bit about website tech stuff, and if not, talk to your website designer or give me a call and I can see if I can help you. Okay. So with that, go grab that PDF and read through that. And this is me hoping that these tips help you, but really championing you on. I know you've got this. Things are tough right now, but I'm really, really optimistic about where things are going to end up, and I'm really championing you and your success. Okay, if you have questions, let me know. I'm available. I know that on my website, roseberrycreative.com, you can go there and get in touch with me. And if you want to know a direct access to getting that PDF, you can go to roseberrycreative.com/download. That's roseberrycreative.com/download. All right, guys, take care. And we'll see you somewhere, I'm sure, here in the near future. Watch out for more videos if you're on my email list. And if you aren't on my email list, then simply go to roseberrycreative.com/download, and you'll get some cool stuff in exchange for it. All right, you guys take care, and we'll talk soon.